sir. Yeah. So, first of all, my humble thanks to Rajagiri Media, Kochi, Kerala, for instituting the Pallikkutam National Award for Innovation in Education 2020, directed by Reverend Father Dr. Varghese Pantalukaran, CMI. The Federal Bank Limited for sponsoring the award, and of course, the Pallikkutam applications for conferring the Golden Award to our humble school, St. Christopher School, Chessore, Tonsan District, Nagaland. I also wish to acknowledge the experts of Indian Institute of Management, Kozhikode, for voting our school for this prestigious Golden Award. And thank you, sir, Sreekumar Raghavan, the editor of Pallikkutam magazine, for kindly conducting this interview with us. Now, coming to your question. Our St. Christopher School, Chessore, is indeed situated in a rough terrain, as you have told, cut off from the mainstream, a rural village, as it still lacks the basic infrastructure, such as roads, medicine, education, etc. However, the idea of a school in Chessore by the Diocese of Kohima came not just a few years back, but over 40 years ago. Reverend Father Matthew Kimatum of happy memory had visited the village in 1980s from Tonsang town with a noble intention to explore the possibility of starting a Catholic community and a school. As usual, there was a stiff opposition by the villagers. However, the Diocese of Kohima didn't give up the dream, as the main ministry of the Diocese of Kohima in Nagaland is the education ministry. Since the Catholic Church in Nagaland realized that only through value-based education that we can enlighten the people from darkness to light. As for Chessore, the year 2015 is a very memorable year. Due to some unavoidable circumstances, over 371 families came to Chessore and settled from Tonsang town. The immediate concern was to provide quality education to the stranded students. And the Diocese of Kohima stepped in to address this serious issue. The Bishop of Kohima, Most Reverend Dr. James Thopil, a leader with tremendous vision and right priorities, had appointed Reverend Father Dr. Francis Chirangal, a visionary priest, to take care of the newly erected St. Augustine Church and St. Christopher School on March 21, 2015. Initially, it was a challenge to remain relevant without much infrastructure and the mindset of the people. However, Reverend Father Francis Chirangal steered clear of all the obstacles and paved the way to provide quality education through consultation, conviction, and perseverance. And as you have told me, the government, though they have done a lot to be open so many schools, at the same time, it is not so relevant. They are not making much of impact, the government schools here. And therefore, there is a need to open a school from the church side to bring out these children to the mainstream. They live on the rice, cultivating rice and maize and a kind of beans called kolar. They cultivate this for their own intake as well as for sales. And they are busy around the clock throughout the year going to field, going forth and come. Mostly the parents are happy. In fact, during this COVID-19 lockdown, they are all the more happy that the children are free and they are with them, so they could take them to the field. And this year, for a record, they could finish all their work on time with the help of the children. Otherwise we were trying to go behind the parents, trying to convince them not to let the children go to the field, but to keep them at home, at least be busy with their books or their assignments or the competition materials that we provided, at least from 8:30 to 12:30 at home. And it was a challenge for us to convince the parents because they couldn't understand. They are wonderful and they are highly talented and they are interested and they want more. And therefore, when we give them more, they are all the more happy to be recognized, to bring out their talents, and they are very, very positive, more than the parents, in fact. And in fact, the children are very vibrant and they are more than willing to bring out their qualities. And they're happy that we are providing more. Exactly, that's the right question you asked. And it was really a challenge. And what we don't put on our teachers, they are well qualified now at present. And what we are trying to do is to bring out the best in everyone through, sometimes through coaxing, sometimes mostly through by telling them the need of developing this area, influencing them, motivating them. I had to motivate a lot our teachers, and they were all the more than willing to listen to my motivation, and they cooperated well. So it is not the matter of getting the best of teachers in the sense of qualification concerned, but more than the qualification, we are trying to bring out the quality of the teacher from within. And everyone is qualified in a way. All of us are qualified. Only thing is, if we are rightly tapped our talents and our abilities, and our motivation is focused, anyone for that matter, even if they have a less qualification, and they are doing the best here, they are doing a wonderful job here. When we speak of pedagogy, that term is too high for me actually.
Yeah.
It's too high for me to even comprehend, because we are more into the practical aspect of trying to face the situation, to address our situation, rather than speaking of the high word pedagogy. So what we try to do is, we realized only by concentrating on the bookish knowledge, we couldn't do much impact on the children. And therefore, we try to introduce more of literary and cultural competitions and talent competitions. That's what that is the need of the hour in this place. The children need, because first of all, they need motivation, and they need a kind of recognition. They are longing for recognition. They are hidden here. They are lost here. They are not known outside. So our sole idea was how to let these children come out of their inhibitions. So we introduced more of talent competitions and literary competitions, and that bore a lot of fruits. Sir, it is possible, and it is the right thing to do so. The holistic approach is what the need of the hour. Most of the time, the parents are worried about how to get their children out of the school so that they can get a good job, to settle in this society in a very, very good manner. That is needed, that's important. At the same time, even if a leader, an officer with a high qualification, if he is not able to come down to the level of the people with compassion, with sincerity and honesty, then what is the use of that education? There is no use. And that is why we are trying to give a kind of value-based education. First of all, give them a recognition, And especially during every day during the assembly, we keep on telling them about the importance of being sincere, honest. If not, we will be of no use to the society in the future. Even if you become a big officer with a handsome salary, we might be able to look after our family, but we may not be able to bring out our family in a holistic manner. The children of that officer who lacks sincerity and honesty will not be able to bring out a child, will not be able to send his child to the society with the same values. As usual, we didn't have much of a different way of thinking. We were following the crowd. The children come to school morning, they come and just play around for some time. They come early because their parents go to the field early. So they come to the school early and they play around. Then they get back to the classroom once the bell is gone. Then we have the assembly almost every day. They come and right from class 1 to class 8, we have up to class 8, they perform different activities. They are given lots of activities to perform during the assembly. And that's where they also get to know their quality. And after that, the classes continue. And I keep on insisting the teachers that they give, for every chapter, there should be an assignment, so that the children, more than trying to learn by heart whatever is given and to mug out, then they come out from within whatever they have learned. So that's where we have been little more successful in trying to easily adapt to the next situation as soon as the COVID came. So we were in a way preparing ourselves unknowingly. We were preparing ourselves, and we gave more importance to the sports day, and the literary and the cultural competitions. The language of Nagaland is English. At the same time, there are 16 tribes in Nagaland, and we have a group, tribe called Imchunga tribe, Naga tribe. And so, in order to give to the children not to forget their language, we also have introduced both English as well as Imchunga language.
Okay, so you have content both in for all subjects. You have content in the local language as well as English.
No, not that way. Just one language, just for one subject, we have introduced in Imchunga language. The rest of the contents are taught in English. Initially, we were also at a loss. We didn't know what to do. So we just began to follow what the government had told us to give the notes online. So we used the best and the convenient method that is possible to be initiated here is the WhatsApp. So we began to provide the notes through WhatsApp, but slowly we realized that it is not working out. There are many children who don't have this facility, and I realized that we are being more of discriminatory, and it was impartial. No, we were partial actually. So I was worried, really sincerely worried that these children are getting lost. But that was not the worry of the parents actually. They were happy that they could get their children back to the field. But we were really worried. Me and my teachers were really worried. We were discussing time and again what to do, how to make this year not to get lost, so that our children should not get lost, as well as our children should be prepared for the coming academic year 2021. So due to that sincere desire, we were trying to explore different avenues. And we came to a kind of idea, why don't we give lots of activities, home-based activities, so that they can be busy, first of all. and the parents will seeing the interest of the children will keep them at home. So it worked out. So we brought out almost 28 competitive items, literary and talent competitions. A few of them are mathematical puzzle, mental aptitude, general knowledge, drawing and coloring, handwriting, essay writing, folk and moral story writing, composing poem, translation, recitation of folk and moral stories, Western and traditional dance, then traditional attire, hairstyling, poetry in action, action song, English and traditional song, unique talent show, speech, photography, pronunciation tips, arts and crafts, treasure hunt, weekly letter writing, helping with daily course at home, and sharing the experience, to name a few. Through all these activities, the children began to be occupied at home, and they didn't feel boring at home anymore. And they could demonstrate their talents in front of their parents, and we could connect the parents and teachers and the students very well. Initially, the parents were not so willing. They thought it is a waste of time, because most of us understand education as only mugging up the textbooks. But we had to swim against the current by talking to the parents very often through phones, and by God's grace, the real impact has not reached here in this faraway village. As someone said, the development also takes time to reach here, and so the COVID also has taken time to reach here. So we are in a way fortunate to even reach out to the parents. We divided our teachers into 3 blocks, and they are visiting the village houses. They are visiting the houses, seeing the growth of the children, and educating even the parents the need to participate in all these activities, home-based activities, so that they can be better prepared. And next year, when they come to school, they are ready to take whatever we are to offer.
Yeah, that is a very great initiative. Actually, not many schools thought of sending teachers right to the place where children are at this point of time. I think COVID outbreak was less in your area. Is it?
Yes, sir. Yes,
that
sir.
has helped. Okay.
That has helped us. Yeah, that has.
Okay. But you have also mentioned that children also came to school for various purposes. What was the?
Yeah.
Even
they
during
came
this
to school.
Yeah.
We have divided them in different groups, and they allotted different days to come to school, to keeping in mind the physical distance. They come to submit the assignments and the various competitive materials that they have prepared to come and submit to the teachers. I told you, I have a very good bunch of teachers who are ever ready to listen to me. I'm really fortunate to have them. So whenever I tried to motivate them, they were happy to take that motivation. And so we decided to come to school every day, at least for 3 hours. We come to school and we sit together, plan out together, and to follow up all these programs. And so we came to make all these criteria for different competitions, and we send out all those criteria to the parents through WhatsApp. And those with no WhatsApp, we call them to the school and to come and listen to us, to write down. We have put out a notice board, so they wrote and they went back home, and they were busy at home. So the teachers with whom I have is a very wonderful bunch of people. They are more than willing to adapt quickly.
So the only technology that you used is the smartphone and the WhatsApp. No other. Okay.
Yes.
And that is indeed great because here so many platforms are used. Even channels are used. In Kerala, we have a channel exclusively for airing the lessons at different points of time. So that facility was also not there in your place,
Yes, yes. We
isn't it?
don't have
Okay.
that.
Okay. But that did not in any way impact the learning.
In fact, I was dumbstruck. I couldn't believe my ears, and I was overcome with lots of emotions. That's the reason why I couldn't even speak on that day during that conference when the award was announced. Kind of disbelief, joy, everything mixed feeling. And next, the diocese has taken very positively. Our bishop is very happy. The fathers are happy. And in fact, few days before the announcement of this award, the education secretary of our diocese, Reverend Father Jacob Charlal, he had asked me to send all the materials that we had introduced, and he had shared all these ideas to all the Catholic schools. More than 100 schools are here, to all the schools to emulate, even before the introduction of this award. And after the introduction of, after this giving this award, definitely the people of this area are so much taken up, and they are so happy that first of all their name, the village name, has come to the national map. Otherwise it is not even in the state map. It's not even the state map. And so the people of this area have taken it so happily. Lots of well wishes calling us to appreciate and to congratulate us, and to, they said it is a pride for our village, for our tribe, for the district, and for the state. And some policymakers also had called me, one ex-MLA and a sitting MLA, and one of the candidates who stood for the election. They all had called me to congratulate. The government schools are there in almost almost every village of Nagaland, and so the private schools too. But mostly the private schools are concentrated in the main town areas, and that's where we make a difference. The Catholic Church makes a difference, the Diocese of Kohima, by venturing into the unknown places, the faraway villages, where usually the private schools don't venture into because there is less income. There's less income, but the vision of the Diocese of Kohima is not just for finance alone, not for finance, but how to uplift the people of this area. And the whole scenario of Nagaland is that the education scenario is very good. It has grown very high due to the policies of the government of Nagaland and the full cooperation of the mostly the private schools and the Diocese of Kohima, the Catholic schools, not negating many of the government schools. They are also doing their best to bring out the education scenario of Nagaland. But we stand apart, the Diocese of Kohima, because we are ready and willing to venture into these types of villages where we wish they are in need of us. At present, our main aim is the St. Christopher School student. When he goes out of the school, he should be a person of integrity, first of all. Secondly, he should be able to realize his God-given talent. Every one of us are infused with a talent, which some of us are able to realize, but some of us are not able to realize due to the trust, undue trust given to the textbook-based framework of education. So our aim and vision is that when a student of St. Christopher School goes out, he should be able to already identify his talents, where he is good at. so that he can take forward that passion. After all, the purpose of education is not just to get a job alone, but to find meaning in one's life by bringing out the God-given talent and find meaning in fulfilling one's passion. And of course, we are now in class 8. We have reached class 8. And we are hoping to go up to class 9 and 10 in the coming years. And the government policy is that at least we need to wait for 3 years after reaching class 8. So we are hoping by 2022, we'll be able to reach to the next level of education. It's a very pertinent and a high question. I may not be adequate enough to answer this question, but in my little experience, I can say that in our own school, St. Christopher School, I could notice that when I took up the school in 2017, end of the year, the percentage of children passing out was 76 plus percentage. Then by 2018, we could come up to 86 percentage. Then 2019, we could come up to 94 percentage. So it is all a concerted effort of the school management that if we are really interested in the growth of the children, we can bring down the dropout scenario in our area. It all depends on the administration and the teachers and the parents concerned. If we take that concerted effort, we can bring down the level of dropouts in our area. We haven't taken that aspect still. The children bring their food from home. We only insist that they bring their tiffin, only stuffed with rice and nothing else, no other fast food items. So we only ensure that they bring the food from home as such. And of course, the fee structure. We have the Diocese of Kohima tries to take the minimum from the parents for education. For that matter, in our school, the annual fees just 2,500 and the monthly tuition fees just 400. Yes, sir. We plan to continue all these items. We are still in the process. We are ensuring that every child is participating in all these items, and definitely we are also trying to evolve more and more new avenues, because this award has given us a kind of proof that we are on the right track, and we are all the more happy and we are grateful to you, and it has given us an impetus to search for more avenues, and definitely more and more new activities are on the pipeline. Yeah, as I said earlier, we have a very good bunch of children here who are more than willing to explore their qualities, and the parents too. They are more than happy if their children appear somewhere demonstrating their qualities, and therefore it is a very, very positive strand for us and an encouragement for us, because we have a very good bunch of children who are ready to take whatever we provide, and therefore from the point of view of children, we don't suffer any problem. We are happy that they've taken very happily whatever we provide, and they are more than willing to demonstrate their qualities. Diocese of Kohima itself has got so many institutions of higher learning, college level, postgraduate level, and also university level. All these avenues are available in the diocese itself. There's St. Joseph College in Jakama near Kohima. there is an Xavier College in Taluki, a parent district, and there is Don Bosco College in Kohima, and there is MSW College in Dimapur, and there is St. Joseph University in Dimapur. So from the point of view of diocese itself, we have opened so many avenues to provide quality and higher education to the children. Mostly the children prefer to go to this arts and science and commerce too. So we are trying to cater to their need at this time, and definitely depending on the need of the hour, we will be expanding more and more to address the need of the students.
And right now the strength is 500 students, is it your school?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So you have the infrastructure to take in more students. If,
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. In fact, we are building a very good Paka school right down below our land itself. We got a project from a Catholic agency in Spain, and we have the building is going on. The construction is going on now, right now. So we have more and more infrastructure that is being prepared to take in any amount of students in the times to come. First of all, we need to realize that the education institutions are run not just for producing children with only bookish knowledge. Most of the parents think that only bookish knowledge is most important, and even the teachers too go by that line, and they try to give more importance to the bookish knowledge than trying to bring out new innovations. Even last year, when we introduced this literary and competitive items, and we had to spend almost a month to prepare the children for that, and most of the parents were apprehensive, and they were up in arms, and they came and asked me, why are you wasting the time of our children, simply uselessly wasting the time in preparing for this kind of activities. And I had to really swim against the current to tell the parents that education lies there, not just within the four walls alone, not even in the infrastructure, which we usually claim and we boast about. And even the parents look for a school with high infrastructure. They wish to say that my child is studying in that high school and all. We have come to feel, even to understand and to convince ourselves that the education is lying in that building. But we need to go beyond that. Education is not lying in that building alone, that four corners of a wall alone, but it is beyond. How we can tap the inner innate quality of each child. And of course, there was a great challenge before me to, first of all, to influence my teachers, and they were in a way very quick enough to adapt to my way of thinking. And there was a huge challenge in front of the parents. More so, it is a rural area, to make them understand that we are going on a right track. And there was a challenge. And the message is that we need to go beyond this infrastructural level, have a sincere concern for the society, sincere love for the growth of the children. And if we have all this, definitely we can achieve what is impossible.